Hey folks, it's day 140 of Nofap, Sunday the 7th of March 2021. Just trying to put together sort of a quick update video. So right now we're about 10 days out from 5 months. And today I kind of slept in like I do on weekends. But I got up and did my usual routine of, getting a shower in and the coffee and all that. But apparently the sewer line was clogged. They had to unclog it, so I just stopped my shower early, and I might go back and do a second shower later just to kind of touch up on things, because it sort of turned into a sort of a sponge bath because didn't really have the ability to have the water going full blast. I had to sort of turn it off and finish up, and then essentially dry myself off and hop out, that sort of deal. But they unclogged it, so it's good now. But yeah, there's some stuff related to that when it comes to like some of the rules that where I live when it comes to like, it's to the point where like they'll have rules with regards to whether or not like you throw used toilet paper in the garbage can or flush it down the drain. They've gone back and forth on things, thinking, oh, this was causing the drain to get clogged, or that was causing it to get clogged. But anyways, that was sort of like a minor inconvenience. But I've gotten most of my homework assignment done. I got like 3 more problems. My planner, I wrote down that I want to have it all done by tonight. We'll see if it turns out to be the case. I'd like to get at least 1 or 2 more done, just so I won't, have as much of a heavy load this week. That's kind of the usual sort of, aim. Okay, get as much done over the weekend so you're not stressing during the week when you got a lot more compressed time because you got work. And if I can, I may have to just toss this into the, stuff to do this week, but additional study problems and that sort of thing, I'm trying to like sort of ramp that up so that by the time the next quiz rolls around, I'll be that much better prepared, because I want to be doing better. And then sometime this week I have to get a new calendar. In the past, I make it a habit of getting like a calendar and then having all my dates written down on there so that I could just kind of flip through the calendar as the time went on, and I see where and what things were due, when they were due rather. And I could refer back to finding out where to upload them and that sort of deal on the syllabus, but I'd have my dates set so that I could keep track of things. And it would help me like be cognizant of, okay, like here's where I am on this time, this timeline. 2 weeks out from an exam, 3 weeks out, a week out, whatever. But other than that, mostly it's just on me getting caught up with studying and stuff for my class. Like yesterday, another thing, yesterday I said that I was thinking about going in today, get at least a few hours of work done, just because I wanted to get some stuff taken care of before I go in on Monday. And also I could sort of I have something to say, like I put on the Slack channel for my the group that I'm part of at work. I could be like, okay, I got this done this weekend or so. And it's not so much because of the overtime pay. I know I'll be getting this sizable paycheck this next time around, this next pay scale, or pay the current paycheck that will be coming in from this last pay period. I'll be getting a sizable paycheck from that because of all the overtime I did. But it's not so much about that. Like, that is there. But one thing, like, I'm understanding, this is my understanding, I'm not really sure this is, the truth, or if it's really that effective or whatever, but I feel like I have to be going sort of above and beyond for more than just the extra pay, which, the way I look at the extra pay is it shortens the amount of time I have to be in the position that I'm in, the sort of tight spot, with money or, other things. Other than the fact that, it'll pad my paycheck and I'll be able to um, hopefully have more left to uh, take a larger chunk on these, debt payments. So if I can send in, $1,300 versus 1,000 every 2 weeks, you kind of do the math, and it's like it's significantly more. Like, it's in 2 months that will probably be like over 1,000, but maybe 1,200 more than if I was just able to send in 1,000. Like, there's that number aspect, but there's sort of like if you're doing this much more work and having that much more of an effect in the positive sense, and when I say positive, I don't mean the feeling sense. I mean in terms of like the bottom line for the company. Long term, you make yourself less expendable. Not 100%, like completely non-expendable, but you make yourself more of an asset than a liability. And it's sort of like if you're this guy or gal who's like working, 2 or 3 times harder than everybody else and putting in all this time and whatnot. I mean, yeah, there's the aspect of creating resentment, I suppose, from your less committed coworkers. But at the same time, like as far as supervisor or the boss is concerned, the manager is concerned, like they have to sort of take that into consideration if they do consider, letting you go or getting rid of you. It's like, well, yeah, this, that, and the other, but, they're always coming in on the weekends. They're always putting all this extra time in. They're doing all this extra work. If we get rid of this person, then we're going to lose that, and looking at the numbers, well, that's meant that we've been, ahead of schedule by 2 weeks or a week or 3 weeks or a month, because we had this one person who was willing to do all this extra work, and given that on my end, I'm looking at this sort of going like, okay, I need to keep the paychecks rolling in, the money rolling in or, flowing into my bank account, as long as possible, get through 6 months, which would be a month from now, basically, get through 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10, 11, a year of being here, such that I have X number of dollars coming in. I can, take out, or take care of, this loan and that loan. Like if I were to go back to my 3 months update video, Nofap, sorry, I just, that was kind of creepy. Sorry, I was looking over and missed my statement. I see this guy rolling up on a motorcycle, and the way his helmet looked, and, I don't know if those were dreadlocks or it was like, something sort of like, maybe beads attached to the helmet, but it looked like the alien from from Predator. I mean, that was kind of creeped me out there for a second. But maybe that was the intention. Like people want to dress up when they're on a motorcycle or so, which I kind of got a little chuckle out of that. I was like, well, wait, is that alien? But anyways, getting back on topic. Like if I were to go back to my 3 months update video, I was talking about, okay, here's the 3 months ahead, what I want to get done. Wanted to get to at least, halfway paid off with this next student loan, which is the third one out of 3 that are left. And, be continuing to make the minimum payments on the other loans, pay them down, that sort of deal. But if I were to look forward to the end of the year, ideal situation, factoring overtime, keeping this job, etc., etc. I would want to have both that loan and my car loan paid off. And if I was sitting here, like, at that point, like, that would be a huge set of weights off my shoulder. That would only mean, like, that would mean that there would be only 2 student loans left. And, I mean, it wouldn't be a really bad spot to be in financially, because even with those 2 student loans, I'd have my car paid off, this thing. I would have that student loan that my uncle signed on to paid off, so I wouldn't have to be worrying about that impact. And I'd be able to sit there and be able to see like the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. Because one of them is a federal student loan, the other is a private student loan. I could probably have that private student loan paid off, in maybe, depending, maybe half a year, maybe 3/4 of a year. And I don't know what's going to happen with the federal student loans. I mean, obviously, I'll still be making payments on them, but, there's all this talk about, okay, forgiving federal student loans and that sort of deal. But either way, being able to get to that point as fast as I can would mean that I wouldn't have to worry so much about certain things. And I think I would be less anxious. I would feel less vulnerable. I would feel less sort of like, things hanging in the balance and, oh, if I make this one mistake at work or that mistake, oh, this is going to be the time, and yada, yada, that sort of thing. Like, it would be like less of that and more of like me being able to sort of look at life from an angle of like, not that the glass is half empty, but that the glass is half full. And okay, what more can I get out of this? What more can I do? And like I've had times where I've looked up, the price of gold, price of silver, price of different cryptos, stock investments, just like how can I create passive income? Yeah, those things have been on my mind, because if I'm at the point where I've got no debt and I've got some extra cash to, throw into investing in assets as opposed to paying off liabilities. I mean, I could even get to the point where I could finally be looking at life from a completely different angle and thinking about what do I want to do versus what I have to do. And at that point, it can mean, further schooling beyond getting this master's. It could mean, being able to pursue like a hobby as something that I would do, most of my free time. I think I've used possibly the example of game programming or game development. I mean, it's something I could possibly dedicate myself to, so I wouldn't have to be doing all this other stuff and dealing with all these stresses and anxieties and conflicts and, and so on. I could be dedicating myself towards something like that. But in order for me to get to that point, I've got to do the work. I've got to put in the time. I have to make these results happen. And, it being about 6 right now, I think I might just pack up my stuff, take it out here and head in. And even if it's only 2 or 3 or 4, even 5 hours, however long I'm there, even if it's like a really short period of time, relatively, just a few hours, maybe I can at least get some stuff done. And while I'm there, when I'm taking like a break from whatever I'm doing, I can go and get a problem or two knocked out on that homework. And, basically be able to have things set up such that, there's that going for me. And I can clock in a few more hours now that I'm my paycheck. And looking at the numbers there, I'm looking at, that would actually be effective. Maybe from other people's perspectives, like, some of my coworkers, they'll think that, oh, what's the point of putting extra time in, blah, blah, blah. Maybe they're looking at things from a position of, well, their parents paid for their college, or they maybe they were smart enough or hardworking enough or focused enough or in the right environment, all these different factors lined up such that they went to college on a full ride scholarship and didn't have any debt to worry about, or they've got a bunch of money coming to them from some inheritance or something of that nature, such that, worst case scenario, they can, use that inheritance, or they can liquidate some assets and, pay off all their liabilities or whatever, their debts. Like maybe they're looking at it from that angle. But for me right now, it's sort of like my numbers of what I'm looking at, the means that I have to have any effect. It's sort of like I have to free up my income because I do not have a whole ton of assets. I don't have a bunch of gold or silver or stock or, real estate or an inheritance coming to me or anything of that nature. So I gotta look at things from my angle, which is different than theirs. So yeah, you know what? I think I'm just gonna pack up my stuff, head into work. It's about a half an hour drive. And I'll just stay there as long as I can. I mean, even if it's just a few hours, and then I come back here and I have to hit the hay right away. And that's what I'll do, you know. So we'll see about that. The stuff I'd be working on, like it's not like it's for tomorrow, at least according to the schedule I've seen, but there's stuff on Tuesday, and if I can just get some stuff set up, ready to go, because you know a lot of these builds that we do in the lab that I'm in charge of, it's like there's a significant component of time that gets put towards, you know, setting up these boxes beforehand and then being able to just grab them, you know, and put the stuff into there. And I mean, maybe I'll go in and I'll see that somebody's already set it up. If that's the case, okay, you know, cool. But if not, then I'm going to take a crack at it and get as many as I can set up. And um, yeah. So, anyways, stay 140. Again, as you can see, as I get further along here, I'm not really focusing on Nofap per se. Earlier today, I did have some instance of like fantasizing, but that was mostly because, honestly, and this is probably another key to like success on Nofap, is like once you've gotten the sleep you need to get up, get out of bed, have a plan, execute on that plan, and get moving. You know, don't be laying around. Don't be like, you know, dilly dallying and letting your mind wander, because, you know, if nothing is going on, you maybe you're getting bored, and because you're getting bored, you know, you try and entertain yourself, you know, mentally or otherwise, and yeah. So nothing happened further from that. I just got up and took a shower, got on with my day, but especially when you're starting out early, you want to just get up and get going, because you don't already have the momentum, you don't have the conditioning to like not be, you know, going back to that stuff that you're apparently trying to get away from, or you know, clear out of your life. So anyways, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Oh, and as far as the game uploads are concerned, like I said before, like you know, previous Nofap video, I would like to see some feedback. I may be doing a couple uploads every weekend, seeing how much time I have to go and play and record and that sort of thing, and how long it takes me to be at a level. Especially if I'm trying to, like, you know, be like beating it, you know, by knocking out every single goal that you're given in these you know, homeworld levels, and you know, trying to go like, you know, beat it sort of on God mode or legendary mode. Like, you know, we'll see how many I can do, but yeah. So I'll be doing that hopefully. But anyways, I'll see you folks around. Thanks for watching. Thanks for likes, the comments, the subscriptions, and take it easy. See you next video. Bye-bye.